Hi, I'm Carol Ventura. I'd like to talk to you today about how to do flat tapestry crochet where you have all of the stitches on one side of the cloth. Now with regular crochet, when you get to the end of a row, you turn the piece, crochet once and crochet across where you have one row of the back of the stitches and one row of the front. What happens is you get ridges. What I like to do is I like to have all of the front of the stitches on one side and the back on the other. Now if you crochet tightly, this is how it looks. This piece was done following the same instructions. All of the front of the stitches are on the same side of the cloth and then the back on the other. The difference is that this piece was crocheted with a very large hook and a loose stitch, a loose tension. Today I would just like to show how to do the stitch. Now the pattern that I'm going to follow is one from my More Tapestry Crochet book. I'm going to crochet across the fabric as you normally do, and I'm going under 2 loops. Now when you're ready to switch colors, you switch when 2 loops are still on the hook. So I'm going to switch to red. I pull through the red and now I will be crocheting with red. Again, I'm following a pattern that is in my More Tapestry Crochet book. So now I hold the carried thread with my thumb and just crochet across as you normally would. Just careful to put 1 stitch in each stitch. We don't want to increase or decrease for this, and every once in a while I'll pull at it a little. I'm almost ready to switch colors. Now I'm going to switch to white. I do that when I still have 2 loops on the hook. Pull that through. Now some people have trouble with their yarn twisting. What I do is I have 1 color to my right, 1 to my left. As you can see, when I am switching colors, a little twist forms right there, and I just don't worry about that. And that keeps my yarns from twisting. It's not such a big deal if you just have 2 colors. I've crocheted pieces though with as many as 7 or 8 colors. And then you do have to be more careful. Otherwise you spend a lot of time untwisting your threads. Okay, so let's see, I have 1 more stitch. And as with regular crochet, I'm chaining 1. My preferred method is to switch hands. I call it the alternate rows switch hands technique. So I'm actually going to be crocheting across with my left hand. Now I'm right-handed, so this is a bit awkward for me. But this way I always have the front of the piece facing me, which is important when I'm following more complicated graphs. So I will do some of the work with my right hand, some with my left. If you notice, I'm using my right hand to do the yarn over. And let's see, I need 1 more white and now a red. So I'm going to switch to the red, pull it through, do a red stitch. Again, this is, as you can see, quite awkward. This does take a lot of practice. Now I've done this for years and it can be done. Now one way to work this is to work from right to left and then cut the thread at the end of the row, work from right to left again, but then you have a lot of threads at the edges. So I developed this way after I was teaching crochet. I didn't even realize people crocheted with their left hand until I began teaching it. And then one day it hit me, why not just crochet across from right to left and then left to right? Now this would be great if you had if you're right-handed and you have a left-handed friend or family member who crochets, you could crochet something together. You could crochet across one way, they could crochet across the other. I always suggest that in my classes. I don't know if it's ever happened yet. Okay, so now we need white again. I'm switching. And now I will do the white. And at the end of the row, I will do chain one as usual. Okay. So here you can see how it looks. Now, in every other row, in one row, the stitches slant to the left, in the other, from the other direction, they slant to the right. And that's why I have designed special graph papers. I'm following the pattern here. You can see on the graph paper, this is how the heart actually looks. I like to follow the square ruled graph paper though. It's easier to know which stitch is over which stitch. So I now have to do 4 red, 1 white, 4 red, 3 white. 3, 4, switch to white. Again, every once in a while, give it a little tug. And now I will do 3 white. And now this next method is the method that most people in my classes prefer. You still chain 1, and as with normal crochet, you turn the piece over. Instead of going from front to back as you normally do, we're going to go from back to front. I actually find this method more complicated because I'm seeing the back of the piece, and normally I'm following a much more complicated graph. So I'm going to do 1, 2, I'm going to do 3 white, 3 red, 2 white, 3 red, and 3 white. So I did 2, I'll do 1 more, and now switch to red. And do 3 red. Again, I find this way more awkward, but most people prefer this way because they find working with their non-dominant hand too complicated. But one thing I do want to point out to you is that when you use your non-dominant hand, you're actually developing your brain cells. And as I get older, I realize I should be developing my brain cells because I might need them someday. So it's not all bad. Now I'm supposed to do 2 white. I guess I'm developing some brain cells right now doing it this way. Whatever you do that's awkward, you're actually becoming a little bit smarter. I'm grabbing the thread this way. You can also grab it this way. Either way will produce a slightly different look on the back. So you can try it both ways and see which way you prefer the stitch to look. And it's really difficult to tell which way I did it, by switching my hands or by turning the work. So I hope that you'll give this technique a try. The pattern comes out lovely without the stripes from turning the piece. But for more about tapestry crochet, please look at my webpage at www.tapestrycrochet.com. I have some free patterns, I have information about my books and videos, and thanks a lot.